and it was a bummer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Baton Rouge is largely a bummer town. I spent a lot of this week in Baton Rouge because there's a school funding bill. I'm a teacher, right? And school just let out. The last day of school was on a Friday, so it's summer for me. Hell yeah.
So you go to Baton Rouge?
But I spent the whole first week of summer going to Baton Rouge and like trying to talk to these biggest jerks in the world, trying to get them to like, you know, give money to schools and make sure that we have, you know, the ability to buy like textbooks and stuff.
How was the reaction? How were the conversations?
Well, I talked to one legislator. I got two stories about this, and then I know you have a lot of calls to get to. So the first one, and I would also like to plug something, but anyway, the first one I talked to, there's some lady who's a former college professor here, and I was like, yeah, you know, I get time with her in the hallway, and I'm saying, hey, you know, you got to support this thing because, you know, all the other plans there don't have like permanent pay raises or whatever. That's a bunch of crap. And she looked at me and she gasped and she like put her hand on her chest and she was like, crap.
No.
Are you going to say any more curse words?
You're not allowed. She said that to you? She said, are you going to say any more curse words?
She said, are you going to say any more curse words? Like this
Jeff,
person who was...
I actually had
this
a
is
thought.
the South, so people love to pretend that they don't ever talk to real people.
Yeah. I mean, I think politicians do that. I will say this, though. I was just thinking yesterday, weirdly, that you brought this up, that the word crap is gross. It's like a little bit, like, sounds gross to me. And I never think of it like that, but it, like, conjures up a grosser image to me than shit.
What are some of the, I think the two grossest words that are not curse words are crap and piss.
Yeah. Piss is a cuss word.
I love the word piss. Piss is one of my favorite words.
It's a cuss, though. And crap is like, because sometimes, here's the thing. I have this weird thing where, like, I look at what words look like, too. You know?
Yeah.
You ever do that? Like, where you're looking at a
yeah.
word and you're like, oh, that word. And I get feelings from what the words look like. And
that's called reading.
Yeah. I type bullcrap to my wife all the time as a joke. And when I see the word bullcrap, I'm like, what a hideous word bullcrap is. Ew.
That's such a gross. That's like when a teacher is telling you, like, Brian, that is some bull crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like somebody is saying that to you to talk about you. That's why it's not a good word.
Crap. Yeah, that's funny that she called you out for cussing. Crap is like a universally agreed upon substitute for cussing, too. Yeah. And so you said, yeah.
Right. It's good enough that you can, like, say it on the radio and not get in trouble.
Right. I mean, I can say it anywhere, really.
Go ahead.
You should be allowed to say it to your teacher.
This is safe harbor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Mr. Radio expert now that he
the other thing that happened...
I'm messing with you.
The other thing that happened was I went to one of these committee meetings, right? They did a committee meeting and they were talking about this bill and all this other stuff. And they were just moving on to talk about the next thing. So I'm like leaving this room. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore with these people. You know, this sucks. So I'm leaving, and I'm kind of like walking with my shoulder dragging against the wall. And I swear this was an accident, but I turned the light off in the committee meeting, and they sat in the dark for like 5 seconds.
Oh no!
And then I switched it back on. Everybody's looking at me.
This dude's he probably fucking made a loud noise when he pushed his seat back, dragging his arm across the wall, turning out the light. I want everybody to know I'm leaving right now after I cussed out a representative.
Did you just say crap to the president?
That's what you should have said to her when she said, are you going to cuss anymore? And you're like, ever heard of a little phrase, grab him by the pussy? That's sick.
That would be good.
Yeah. He's the president. Well, thanks for calling in, Jeff. Let everybody know about your new show.
Hey, can up.
Hell yeah.
My new show. So we have a radio show on local community radio. It's WHIV. It's called Good Morning Comrade. You can listen anywhere in the world at WHIVFM.org/listen. We also have a website.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
Is that a joke name for that radio station?
That radio
No, the director is an infectious disease doctor.
Okay.
And one of the things that he covers is he covers like HIV for a lot of his work. So he just, I guess, put it as the name of the station.
Okay,
Everybody
wow.
asked that question though.
Yeah, well, when I heard it, I was like, this sounds like
the nicest guy.
it's like this guy's doing a bit
Pique
here.
your interest.
Yeah.
The website is goodmorningcomrade.com. And that's the name of the show. We got 3 of them out. You can get them on all the things. So,
All right.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, check it out.
You're a great dude, and you do good stuff in the community. And I haven't listened yet, but I do definitely plan to. You did send me a link. So, thanks
Yeah,
for calling
check it
in.
out.
We
I'll
love
post it in
you.
the Facebook group. I love you too, buddy.
We love you. We'll talk to you later.
Can't wait to listen to some of that WIV radio.
Okay, Wiv might be the way to say it.
Well,
I was just like,
at
I
least
heard
they're
that.
working with. I don't. Yeah, I thought it was. I really thought he was trying to be a youngster.
Jim Norton.
Yeah.
It's like a total Jim Norton joke. WHIV.
Right, but they're behind it, and I guess a part of the movement. It's not
They're against AIDS.
right.
Yeah, I get it.
Anti-AIDS.
Let's get this next call in.
Yeah, we
here.
got some more. Oh shit!
Oh shit! You hang up on somebody?
Yeah, I took the wrong call.
That licorice tastes like my fucking dog's balls asshole.
Hey,
It does not. A dog would never be that salty. You know what? Can I talk about gross stuff on here?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. As long as
I-
you don't talk about fucking. Well, you can still talk about
When
that, too.
when I was a teen, I had a buddy who always would say that his buddy, he just got way too curious and he ate shit.
Oh no!
Yeah, and his buddy like just tried it because he's like, I need to know, right?
Yeah.
Like curiosity, but also like lack of Google, right? Because it was like a long
Well,
time
Google's
ago.
not going to tell you what shit tastes like, though.
No,
Right.
they will
It's not gonna
actually
give
if
the
you
experience.
if you Google it. Yeah, they
I'm doing it
will.
right now.
Yeah, see they'll tell you, but
How much umami is in a piece of doo doo?
see, and he said it just tastes like the food that you ate, except
Okay.
it tastes like somebody burned it.
Okay.
And so I grew up in my whole life, I thought that it just tasted like burned food, like you cooked it too
Okay.
much. It turns out it doesn't. I've never tried it, but I was talking with my wife about it actually, and she was like, I don't think it tastes burned, and she Googled it, and she was like, no, it actually tastes bitter. Because
yeah, I mean,
of,
you're the guy to try. You ate those black licorice things, like no problem. You
that's
like
just
weird
salt.
taste.
That's like road salt. That's fine.
Yeah.
You've never eaten road salt.
Get one of them salty turds. Mashed up.
It does taste like that licorice, probably. That's what it's saying. It's
No.
tasting like Drew's licorice. Is the
No.
answer.
Yeah.
Google comes up, the first result says that.
Double salt licorice. All right,
This
caller,
guy here-
How are you doing?
Yeah, go ahead, caller. I have a answer though.
He's
too.
watching people eat poop on YouTube. Right?
What's up, caller?
Hey guys. Hey, how's it going, guys? Listen, I have a quick story, but then I know we're getting close to the end of the show, so I want to do a new format for the Street Fight Call-In Show. I'm going to do a hang up and listen call.
Okay,
Right.
let's try that.
I'm going to pitch you a topic, and you guys do as much or as little as you want with it.
Nice. Okay. Hey, you want to hear
Okay,
something?
so here's the story first.
Before
Yeah.
you go, just before we get off this, Rusty Ray 84 on Reddit said, "Once I sneezed while wiping and instinctively brought the tissue to my face. Yes, it tastes bad." So it's just tastes bad. Shit tastes bad, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Go for
Thank
it.
you. Hey, Brian, thanks for getting to the bottom of that. So here's a quick story. So I was supposed to see you guys last summer when you came through Kansas City, and I was so excited, and I got 2 tickets, and I just spaced on the night. I think it was on a Thursday night. I thought it was on the Friday night, and I saw one of my friends who was at the show post a picture of her with you on Twitter. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. The Street Fight guys came to town one night early to hang out with people before the show. So I missed the show, but you got my money anyway.
I think that's so funny. That happens a lot. It's your story is far better than the more common story of the day I get back from a city. They like somebody is inevitably gonna DM me this week and say, "When y'all coming to Phoenix?" It's like we're just fucking there 3 days ago. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that sucks.
Well, I look forward to getting another chance to see you guys sometime. But anyway, so here's the story. Here's the question I'm going to pitch you, and you decide how much you want to talk about it. And I'm going to take my answer. Well, I'm going to jump forward in time a couple days and listen to your response when I listen to the podcast.
Okay.
All right. So this is the question I was going to ask you at the show. So I'm kind of like getting some closure on this. So driving around the Midwest or just driving around the United States, I'm sure on tour you guys must notice billboards by the side of the road and sort of how you can kind of get a feeling for the politics of the region based on, sometimes you'll see like social messaging billboards, usually related to like abortion, are the ones that you see a lot driving around my area. But so I wanted to know if you noticed anything on your last tour or just recently at all, like what you have noticed about the country's politics based on roadside billboards. And like I said, you talk about that as much as you want to, move on to the next call, and I'll take my answer off the air.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Brett, I think an interesting thing, Las Vegas, the Christians paid a bunch of money for billboards that say lust is a sin. And I was like, how do you control lust? Like, it's not fair to make a sin something that you just fucking feel, you know? Lust is a sin. I guess the most interesting thing that we saw was when we were driving through Illinois, and maybe this farmer owned a bunch of land, or maybe he was just hanging signs up, but he was like racist for sure and religious for sure. And then like, so you would drive and it'd be like, if somebody broke into your house to kill your family, wouldn't you want to have a gun then? And
well,
stuff
it would be like 4 signs though. Like it was the first sentence would be like on a sign that you pass.
Oh, so it's like racist Burma shave.
Yeah, but like as you go past, it would be for like a whole story that he has to tell you as you drive by.
But here's the thing, billboards, and here's my final answer on this, is billboards do not necessarily indicate the politics of the people that live in a place, because in my neighborhood, very lib neighborhood, there is a sign that says holy matrimony is between a man and a woman or something like that. Nobody wants it.
No, and it's on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
And it's 2 rings, and it says holy matrimony is 1 man and 1 woman.
Yes.
And it's been fucking vandalized like 10 times.
Yeah, and it's been there for years now at this point.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think you maybe get more of an idea about things with like bad graffiti. You know what I mean? Like people that spray paint there's a place by my house that says Google Pizza. And it used to say Google Pizzagate, but they, for some reason, the guy that owned the buildings got rid of the gate part and not the pizza. So it's
that's good though. That's funny.
Good way to deal with
it. That's good.
I think homemade billboards. We saw those a lot in the South, and I saw them in my trip to Virginia and like North Carolina before. When guys make like a POW monument and put it at the front of their property, then you know you're in a wild town, I feel like.
Yeah, there's a lot of like homemade billboards. There's a lot of those in like Ohio.
There are.
Even like we go to Zanesville sometimes with Brett and his wife to see the in-laws or whatever. And I always see wild ass fuck. And I go out to the southern Ohio to visit my in-laws, and like, people homemade signs that are like these really crazy fucking political statements that, I mean, really you wouldn't want to say out loud. You know what I mean?
Well, I saw in my neighborhood, and I live like close to campus. I live close to Bryan, and there was a neighbor, and this was in the 2016 election. They were hand painted signs, and they said, "Vote Trump. Think about the Supreme Court." And I was like, "Fuck." Because like that guy he had a fucking agenda, but it was like a hand painted sign. He was like, nobody is doing this messaging that you have to have this like slightly complex thinking about this election,
Right.
so I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
I made a sign in 2000. I don't ever want to talk about this. This is like one of those things. I made a pro John Kerry sign in 2004 and
A
put it
handmade
in
one?
my window, handmade with like a real fucking smart ass thing that was like love war and what was it like? God damn it! It was anti-war, but it was also about like love war and tax cuts for millionaires. Vote Bush. Like it's like a smart mouth.
Yeah.
But it was up in my window and it was huge and
Yeah.
you could see it from the street. And I don't know why, but this just brought me back to remembering like I was a fucking crazy political
You had
side
you
guy.
had an opinion. You're like, no, I'm not gonna just sign up to have a sign put out there. I got something to say.
I didn't want
But
to pay for
that's-
the sign.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm sure people saw that and they were like, yeah. People saw it and were like, yes. They felt like there's somebody and he's gonna fucking take an afternoon and paint a whole sign
Yeah.
about,
Tell the truth.
yeah.
His feelings.
Speak on it.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
just at that time it felt like everybody's got to know that like I'm a
People
Democrat.
don't realize. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How bad this Bush character is.
2004. It's like, yeah. Did you know the president sucks? I mean, I was definitely like,
Yeah.
and I saw. This is really funny. I saw some stuff very recently, and they were like, imagine if we had the internet back when Bush was president. We would have really given it to him.
No. They get away with that. All right, let's see who's on the phone here next. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, it's Blake Desley.
What's up, Blake?
Blake Desley, how's it going?
Blake.
All right, how are you?
Good. I'm just happy that Drew Toothpaste is on the show tonight. That's awesome. My friends and I in high school.
You what?
No, not personally. My friends and I in high school, probably like 12 years ago, we would take Married to the Sea comics and put them as our teachers' background on their computers. So when
Hell
they
yeah.
showed up to class, everybody would have to see a Married to the Sea comic. So
Nice.
we
How
love
many of our
you.
listeners are
Friends from high
OG
school.
Drew Toothpaste?
I'm
fans?
glad that Drew Toothpaste is here, except for I'm kind of mad that he brought that gross ass candy.
Yeah.
But I love him as a person.
Yeah, no, that was my second point was going to be I completely disown you because of the black licorice. That's
Drew?
disgusting.
I mean,
he
Yeah,
lived up
I
to
agree.
it. He's the guy that made that salt meme with that little girl eating a spoonful of salt, and he lived up to it.
the licorice, black licorice is gross, but like something that
It's
I can
nasty.
eat and understand why people enjoy it. That licorice
I
that
don't.
you just fed me, I don't understand that at all.
Now, when you say I fed it to you, it sounded like I put it in your mouth.
Yeah, you handed it to me, and you guys both said eat it. It made me feel. I would have felt bad. Like, here's the shitty thing about radio: is like if you don't participate in the bit, you then feel like a jerk. So it's like, all right, I'll fucking eat the goddamn. Yeah, I didn't want to eat it, but like it was out, and Brett was eating one, and it's like, well. He wants me to eat. Brett said, you got to eat one too. And it's like, I don't want to eat one, but we got to eat the goddamn licorice. It's like a job hazard for me, you know?
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
I accept your apology. I accept. No, but I'm calling tonight because I just started a new job. So I work in like local government or whatever, and it's all about. So I work in child support, and basically it's just a fucking like war on poor people. Honestly, like what I do is process like income shit.
Yeah.
And you know, these people are making like $7.25 an hour, and they're like $3,000 in arrear, and it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? You know. So then these people get a warrant out on them, but I don't know. So that's a new learning experience. But I work in like an office of all like boomer old white women, and I'm like the only black person in my office, and it's super awkward. Like, I don't know, man.
Boomer white women
Every day,
are boomer white women.
They're
I
the
was
worst.
talking about how out of control they can be. Like, me and Brett were talking about this, and like, it's not our place to talk about it, obviously. But like, do you? I'll say this: white women think that they are like oppressed in a way, like that they don't have privilege. A lot of them because they're women.
They do.
I know they do have it.
They do.
But they
And
think that they are
this
like,
specific group of women, though, they like just poor shame all of our clients. Like they're just like, oh, I can't believe this person has 9 different kids with 9 different dads, and it's just like, fuck you. It's none of your fucking business. Like there's nothing you can really do about it. Just it's your job. Handle it.
yeah. Does it
It's
feel
just
like?
disgusting.
Does it feel like to you working in an because like all of our, I guess like a thing with like conservative parents and knowing conservative people, does it seem like the people that work in the office with you are like pretty conservative? Because like everybody I know that knows somebody that worked for like, Health and Human Services, like, or unemployment, they're like, they say everybody that comes in there is ripping them off. Like, is that seems like such a common thing.
I just found out that a majority of my coworkers voted for Trump, actually, from one of my other coworkers.
I don't know how that
really
happens.
understand the climate. Like, people aren't really getting, too close to me, because I don't know, I just feel like such an outsider. I try to be super friendly and everything, but they're kind of just, like, keeping me at an arm's length, like, and I kind of outed myself, like, at the beginning of, when I started there, they had, like, a monthly meeting where we had to talk about diversity, and, like, we talked about, gender and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, well, I have queer friends, and then, they always come up with, like, when I was, growing up, queer was a bad word, and I was like, well, it's kind of just, like, people are, reclaiming the word, just like, I'm not queer, but like, I had to explain to all these white Trump voters, like, what it meant. So it's like, so now they all kind of just treat me like, oh yeah, get the hell away from her. So,
do you think that they think you're
they all
gonna?
vote for Trump.
Do you think that they're going? Like, what would you think that they think you're gonna get them in trouble? Like you're gonna accuse them of racism and they'll get fired or something? I wonder if that's like the vibe around the place.
I think I honestly be part of it, but honestly, I'm not going to do anything about it. Like, if I come across that situation, I handle it personally because I just say, fuck you. I tell them, like, that's wrong, you shouldn't say that, and this is why you shouldn't say that. I don't know. I'm not afraid to speak up, but, like, if it gets to, like, a bullying point, then, yeah, definitely I'm going to say something. But,
I guess,
it's like we don't make more than, like, $20 an hour, so it's not like we're working class people, so I understand why they like Trump, and I live in a very, very white area, but like, it's very awkward at the workplace. It really is.
Yeah, and it's challenging because you put in so much effort to be so welcoming of them, and then they wouldn't give you a shred of understanding. It's like so many of us are going out of our ways to make sure these people are comfortable, and they won't offer anybody else the same niceties. They have no consideration for other people,
Yeah, and I think that they don't understand.
No.
I think that they don't understand. Like, their idea is that the left, or like liberals, are the ones that get people fired and get them in trouble and get them kicked off Twitter and stuff like that. And they don't understand that most of us would. I mean, as far as like being in a situation where somebody has done something problematic that I don't like, that I feel like I should stand up to, like, during a situation like that, I would so much rather handle it personally than to like pawn it off on like a human resources or the police or something like that.
Right,
because I don't want anything bad to happen to the person. I don't want any.
No, I don't. I'd rather personally teach them something. But if it, if it escalates to something, obviously. But human resources isn't going to do anything about it. They work for the company. They don't work for you. Yeah, but you can tell how tense it is at these monthly diversity. It's only like 10 minutes of the actual meeting, but everybody's super tense and just like, oh boy, we're going to talk about gays or blacks, yeah, they're
What?
super uneasy about it.
What? Why are you having monthly diverse? Like, what is the? Is it a government agency? I guess.
Yeah, it's a municipal government agency. So just to put it into context, I live in Paul Ryan's school district.
Okay. Well, it's just interesting to me to think about like that. I don't know. Like my voice is echoing, right? Like that's what's going on. Yeah. Well, it's all right. It
It's
doesn't
fine on
sound
the
that
phone.
bad. It's not. Yeah, it doesn't sound that bad to me. I can handle hearing my own voice, so it doesn't. It doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I do think I do find it like I have always found that probably the people you work with aren't bad people at their core, and like that kind of
No.
I had that thing at the laundromat where there was a black dude there that was really fucking drunk that kept telling me I was not white, but that is beyond that. But he got into an argument with a woman about Donald Trump. And they were like yelling at each other, but they got along perfectly. And the oddest part about the conversation to me was that the woman, this old white woman, like, wasn't proud to have voted for Donald Trump. She didn't feel as though she made a mistake, but she wasn't proud to stand in a room and tell people that she voted for Trump. And I just wonder if there's a lot of people out there that feel like they messed up, that they're just like, I'm not going to say anything. I don't like to prove I'm wrong, but things are kind of fucked, and like the economy's, shit's bad for people and shit like that, and maybe they'll change their mind, and maybe they've learned a lesson. I guess I know it's a lesson at the expense of people, but I think some of them have learned a lesson.
Some of them have, and some of them have completely welcomed it, I can tell, especially when it comes to immigration issues and stuff like that,
Yeah, that's
like,
tough.
I hear whispers in the office and people talk about, all of that crap, but like, when it comes to improving the quality of life at home, you can tell that they're very disappointed in that,
Mm-hmm.
So taxes just went up for everybody. Like, it's awful.
Well, a lot of people are super
It's not
pissed
fun.
about that too, and that came up on Facebook a lot. Like it was like I was watching people say my tax return was lower this year. This is bullshit. And then Trump supporters getting in the comments and trying to explain why it happened, but not like really being able to explain it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's no good reason for it other than
to be fair, nobody really understands taxes. You
That's
know what
true.
I mean? Just
It's
in general,
intentional.
but like,
that's
yeah,
an
it is
intentional
definitely
thing.
intentional.
Yeah. Well, thank you for calling
yeah,
in.
but yeah, thanks for having me. You guys have a good night.
You too. Does it sound like that over the air? Is my echo happening
No
over
one's
the air?
complaining.
All right.
No
well,
one's
let's keep
complaining in
going.
the
I can
chat at
handle
all.
hearing it. Can you guys hear it?
I don't hear it.
Okay.
I can hear myself, but I don't.
Yeah. Well, I think we can just hear ourselves. It's not a big deal. It's not like lagging or anything. Let's get this next call.
All right. Thanks for calling Street Fight. How you doing tonight?
Hi, my name's Will. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Ooh.
I just wanted to call in because Brian was talking about how he was listening to a lot of these shock tracks, and I wanted to recommend checking out the Howard Stern's morning of 9/11 show.
What is it?
What is it? What is it?
Okay, are you having a hard time hearing me?
Yes.
It's like muffled. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was using headphones. Yeah, I was saying that I wanted to recommend checking out the Howard Stern show from the morning of 9/11.
I listened to that on the morning of 9/11, so I have heard it before.
Yeah.
And actually, I have actually listened to Mancow on 9/11. I listened to Opie and Anthony on 9/11, and I haven't found Tom Likas on 9/11. Maybe I should find Likas is still on there on 9/11. Like, oh, don't ever spend $40 on a date.
So your sister thought that Howard Stern was doing a joke about 9/11.
She thought he was doing a bit, but that's because she can't read people at all. Like, she has like the worst read on people. And I was like, that is not a funny joke. 9/11's not like a funny joke. Like, Howard Stern, I don't think, would go to the point where he pretends there's a 9/11 happening.
Yeah.
No, honestly, on
He
9/11,
was joking for like a good hour at his transition from being really like angry and righteous. It took like 1 hour from even like the second plane.
yeah, because I was listening and then I ended up in. So, like, what happened was I was at work at a call center and we saw that it happened, and then we went out into the parking lot and we stood around this cool dude's van and listened to Howard Stern, like, talk about it. And, like, just, I mean, I am not proud of the way I felt that day. Like, any of that stuff. Like, I'm not proud of, like, the 2 years after 9/11. But, like, you know, I mean, I don't think I
Yeah,
had...
it was a horrible time.
Yeah, and it was very easy for me at 20 years old to be able to, like, delve into really bad politics. You know, a 20-year-old white trash guy that works at a fucking, call center is not gonna probably deal with 9/11 in a way that's appropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've listened to it. I think I'm gonna try to find Bubba the Love Sponge 9/11 and Tom Likas 9/11 too. I'm gonna try and listen to all those. That's gonna be part of the thing.
Wow, that sounds cool.
All right, thanks for calling in. Shock Jock
All right.
Show is chugging along. I just finished I'm almost done with the Anthony Cumia book. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's a very bad book, and I'm moving on to the Mancow book.
You gotta-
Dwarves, Dames,
Dad?
hold on, let me get it for you, because I just ordered it. Drew, you were never a Shock Jock guy, were you?
I was never a shock jock guy. I actually, I worked at jobs where we would have the radio on, and I would always like sneakily turn it off.
Noise. Shut off that racket.
Dad, Dames, Demons, and a Dwarf. My Trip Down Freedom Road. By 10? 11? I don't know. He's doing something. He's going like this.
Back away from the mic.
Oh, back away. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Wu-Tang.
I
thought you were going in for Wu-Tang.
I thought it was I thought it was like I'm getting the vapors down here.
Oh,
okay, I'm getting the vapors in the clown. Dad's Dames. I'll read that again because we had Dad's Dames, Demons, and a Dwarf. My Trip Down Freedom Road by Mancow Muller. It's gonna be bad. I think.
You have a high tolerance. I'm definitely not somebody that finishes
He would just look
books.
at bad stuff. He'll just like take it all in and not even turn away or be disgusted.
It's like
you're so good at that. I can't do that. I get so bummed out at that stuff. I can't look at the men going their own way for like longer than about 10 minutes. It's like Medusa or the Basilisk. I'm like, no.
Shit though is like there is funny stuff. You know, it's like not as hard as it sounds. I'm like listening to professional broadcasters.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah,
a lot of it's like Mancow is the worst in the world. I can't wait to cut clips of him. He is the most insecure man that's ever lived.
Nice.
Who do we got next?
I don't know.
Do we got anybody else on the phone?
We got 2 more people to go.
Let's get these 2 done, man. It looks like we're gonna get everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, who's this?
Oh my god, I got through. My name's Brittany.
What's up? How are you tonight? What's going on?
I'm good. So I wanted to call in, I guess, a few weeks ago because I wanted to talk about working at Taco Bell.
Oh, okay. Did you make fun of adults that came through the drive-thru and laugh at their dumb voices and orders? I'm kidding. That's like a weird thing I went through.
Yeah, but today was my last day, actually. Like, I went to work at, 6 a.m. I didn't leave till 4.
Oh.
But, yeah, I first got to say hey to my boyfriend, Eli. He listens to you guys all the time, and, he's always talking about you guys.
Hey, Eli.
I got to be honest, most of the stuff, goes out one ear. I'll, hear what he's saying about you guys, but, I don't actively listen, but I've started to just to,
connect with him, I guess. But
Oh
anyway,
boy, I
anyway.
feel sorry
Also,
for you.
Like,
Being subjected
but, like,
to
also,
this.
like, yeah. I'm like surprised I'm like not the only black person calling. Like that last person, I was like, wow. I'm the second black person. I'm surprised.
It's not all white dudes that listen to the show. I promise. I
I'm
promise
surprised,
you.
too.
But I am surprised. Yes. So, what was it like working at Taco Bell? What was the? Let me ask you, like, what was the best thing about working at? Were there any good things about it? Paycheck.
Yeah, like my coworkers were fun because
Yeah.
like they're all kind of my age, but like it's pretty different because like I don't know, like I guess I didn't realize that like a lot of people who dropped out of like high school go to work at Taco Bell, and like I like dropped out of college like 2 years ago because of like prices and stuff. So like people, you know, like there were like asking me about like college and stuff and like how it was, and I'm like, holy fuck, like I've never really been around people who like didn't have the privilege to like
Try college.
continue education. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was different, but like I guess that was like the best thing. Like the worst things are definitely like my boss, like she's like apparently I found this out like a few weeks ago. She's like she's like an old lesbian, okay? So that's already like you think that'd be cool, right? But no, she's like one of those lesbians that are like, I'm gonna like hate other gay people because I'm projecting. Like,
Oh God, I've been in that.
We have I mean, you know, this is the same.
Yeah,
we have a
other
lot of
guys who
older,
work there.
like LGBT people that are like, oh, I can be fucked up. You know, I'm part on the spectrum. You know, I'm part of that group, so I can be fucked up to
Yeah.
other gay people or whatever.
yeah, it's like so shitty. It's like, you know, like trying to like shove like the hatred onto somebody else. Like, oh, you're more gay than me. You know, fuck you. Like
Yeah, that's
all that stuff. But she's like. She definitely, like, she comes into work, so I, like, work mornings pretty much, and she would come into work around 8, and I'd be there since 6, and she'd, like, the first thing she does is, like, make a coffee and then walk around talking about her fucking business. She's getting married soon, so she keeps talking about her, like, wedding in August. And I'm like, you know, it's cool, great, whatever, but, like, I'll be struggling to, like, cook the fucking food, which, by the way, Taco Bell, oh my god, the food, like, cooking the food is, like, ridiculous. But I'd be struggling to, like, cook this fucking food because, like, I'm not strong. And she'd just be talking in my fucking ear, and I'm like, do you see me doing this? Like,
Well,
what the fuck?
So, are you in one of the new Taco Bells where they don't have cashiers anymore and you just have to order at the screen?
No, well, they just installed that. So, like, I've been there for, like, 4 months, and they installed the kiosk.
Yeah.
And, like, there's still, like, a front, like, person, but, like, okay, so, like, we're encouraged to say, hey, go to the kiosk. And, like, whenever you encourage customers, especially old people, which, by the way, old white people love Taco Bell. Like, I can't explain to you how much they love Taco Bell. Like, every day they come up there. But also, Taco Bell has, like, a senior discount thing. I don't know if any other stores have that, but it's also probably
What's
why.
their favorite Mexican food?
Yeah, Mexican food, definitely Taco Bell and Mexican food. But yeah, like, whenever you suggest kiosks to, like, older customers and, like, anybody in general, they look at you like, I'm not gonna fucking use that computer, and it's just like, okay, bro, it's cool, whatever. But, like, a lot of people are really turned off by it, and I didn't, like, realize that would be a thing. Like, younger people obviously will, like, go to that. Like, the peevish, like, dudes who go in there will go straight there so they don't have to talk to people.
Right.
But, like, everybody else is like, don't give me that computer. Like, fuck that.
Oh no.
I'm not a fan.
I'm glad that they're not. I'm glad people are like, fuck the computer, because when I go in, I don't want to use that fucking thing.
I don't like
I'd
it
rather
either.
just tell somebody what the fuck I want. I don't want to be ringing shit up, you know? Too much work for me.
Well, you're taking over the labor for free. You're performing labor that somebody should be getting paid for.
Well, that's gonna say that's what at my Taco Bell now. Like, I feel bad if I take somebody away because the cashier person is usually like arm deep in some tortillas and is like scooping beans and helping out and stuff. It's not really like someone's just sitting at the register waiting for you. You got to like grab somebody that's in the middle of doing something and tell them to stop.
You're right about that too. It's like you're bugging somebody anyway.
For sure. Yeah.
Although I always, every time there's like an older person that works at the Taco Bell, I just say, I don't like those machines. And then they look around a couple times and they go, I don't like them either.
Yeah, definitely that's how it is. But I guess like the worst thing about working there, like the super worst thing is like people like flirting, like you guys were like talking about earlier, like weird ass people like flirting with like teenage like people in general. And like I appear as a teenager, I'm not, I'm like 22. So like I feel like I shouldn't be hit on at 22, but it happens anyway. Like it will happen no matter how you look, age or whatever, because it's Taco Bell, it's free range for like everyone. But like
you're held captive, right? Like you can't get away from it from them.
Yeah, like I would do drive-through like the headset, and people would be like, "Oh, your voice is so nice," blah blah blah. And you know, like first of all, they time us on the fucking headset. So like if I take too long talking to somebody, my boss is gonna yell at me. So here you are trying to like flirt with me and ask for my number, and I'm like, can you just fucking tell me which sauce you want? Like, shut up.
You're getting on my nerves. You're cutting into my quota. You're gonna make me look bad on my metrics.
It's not even like I care about that. Like I definitely would like my boss would be like, oh, you have great times, but you know you need to step it up. And I would just look at her and be like, yeah, okay.
Right. It's going to take however long it takes to get these drive-through orders done. You know, I'm not having a time here. I'm not trying to extend this for any longer. You know, it takes how long it takes.
Yeah, and like it doesn't affect like any like lowly employee like me. It only affects her. So like, why should I give a damn? Like, those times mean nothing to me. But they're definitely like in every fast food joint is the timing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. I mean,
give us a chance, please. Just give us a chance, or don't let your boyfriend bully you into listening to us. I guess it's the better way to address that.
No, that's definitely not happening. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right.
Yeah, my Taco Bell. I started going to Taco Bell again ever since they started having power menu food.
You want just anything that this motherfucker's been drinking Bang now. He's on Bang when we were on tour.
Yeah,
on vacay.
Oh, dude, I love Monster. I'll do like
Monster Milk got creatine in it.
Oh, Bang has creatine?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I like creatine.
It's great.
It's got 300 milligrams of caffeine in it.
It's good. And BCAAs too.
It's
all in one shot.
All right, I'm gonna start drinking fucking Bang then because to get the BCAA and the creatine, I'm like dumping the powder in and everything. Yeah.
Brett was just
cheap for me. I didn't have to mix up any powders. I could
Brett
just
was
get it done.
banging down cotton candy bangs while we were driving. I
They
was
also
like,
have
what
like
in the
Supreme Unicorn is like one of their flavors. There's a Sour Heads one that's pretty good too.
That's a palate cleanser right there.
Brett's a Bang guy, man. Love it.
Call in here.
All right, let's get this last call.
Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey guys.
Is that a bong hit? All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Right on. Fat
How we
Philly
doing? I
Friday.
just got off of work.
Yeah, that's a good time to do a bong hit.
It is my Friday technically. I don't have to work for 5 more days. Yeah.
Fat Philly Friday. That's what Bubba the Love Sponge used to do.
Okay.
Smoke a Philly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, play a bong sound. He would play bong sound effects and be like, "I'm getting so high in the studio, buddy."
So glad we don't have to do that.
Buddy, I'm getting fucking ripped up in the... Well, actually, he did. And then he did the bong hit, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm in here, I'm getting ripped, I'm high on drugs, I tell you." He had the radio guy voice. What's going on tonight?
I'm high on drugs.
Hey, I'm high on marijuana.
I'm high on drugs, and I'm calling into a radio show. No, I want. Hey, I'm actually. I have a sandal story. I DM'd Brett about it, about the dad sandals, but also something relating to this show. I'll be quick though. So the Keens, Brett posted a picture of like those Keen sandals, and it was like the real dad shoe, and I was like, and I have a pair, and the reason I have a pair is because I went on this backpacking trip when I was a kid. I was like 17, and my dad took me to the store to buy like some of those shoes, right? And I'm sitting down trying them on for the first time, and I look across from me, and across from me I see this old, like, total dad, like big dude in his like 50s, big old gut, khaki shorts, you know, white socks, and he's taking off an old pair of Keens, and he's trying on a new pair of Keens, and he looks in his, I see his eyes, I see him look across at me, look down at what I'm looking at, just look up at me and just give me the most knowing look, and he just looks into my eyes and he says, he gives me like this nod, and he just goes, last shoes you'll ever buy in your life.
Welcome to the club.
And I was
So
just like,
bad, though.
You're so corny.
I have a pair of Keen shoes, and they are the ugliest things you could. I would.
oh,
I'm I'm against barefoot being legal, but it's almost would be. I might just learn how to walk barefooted, so I don't have to wear those goddamn shoes anymore. They're so
Yeah.
comfortable. They feel so good. They're so comfortable.
I know,
and great.
honestly. Yeah, honestly, they're great, and it's like, what I like to do, I don't know, because I'm super lucky. I work in this, like, rich town, right? But in this rich town is a thrift store, and it's, like, the best thrift store ever. There's, like, types. I have tiers of thrift stores, but the best thrift store is the number one. It's when it's completely staffed. It's, like, a complete charity donation, right?
Yeah.
And it's staffed just by old retired ladies.
Yeah.
And so they're all volunteers, and so all the clothes are like $2, and it's
Nice.
just 100% goes to charity.
And they
So
have
I
no idea
find
what they
like
got?
I've bought like, oh, they have. It's like because I'm in this super rich town like Silicon Valley, like where all the like mansions see. It's old money up here, like new money too. But holy shit, like in this town I work in. Anyway, so I find like Yves Saint Laurent and North Face like really nice clothes for nothing. It's amazing.
On eBay, man.
It's just picking off all their stuff. Anyway, but yeah, so I used to wear like really nice clothes and then just like the ugliest shoes like Keen.
It's
Or like rock. I think it's funny as fuck.
Is there a reason
just,
they
yeah.
can't make them look like not hideous and dumb? Like, what is the reason with that?
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't know what goes
They
in their
just
heads. I can't
Focus
tell
on
you.
comfortability first, and they throw all like design to the wind.
Can they fucking make them black? Like just a pair of black? They won't even make just a plain colored pair of shoes. I don't even care if they're all white. All their shoes have to be
Yeah.
3 different colors that I would never buy in a pair
True.
of shoes.
And they
Yeah.
put extra ridges on places.
I know.
Like, is that good for me?
Yeah.
That's what makes it cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing too, is man,
You
you
just
know,
gotta-
what pisses me off more than anything in the world is when people are like, Balenciaga's making dad shoes. They're $795.
Yeah.
I'm like, dad
Yeah.
shoes are down at Dick's Sporting Goods for $35. Anybody can go get dad shoes. If that's the
Yeah.
hot thing, I can show you where to find them.
They're the Nikes.
They're Keens.
They're the Nikes that say Nike real big on the tongue.
Yes.
That's dad shoes.
Yeah.
They're called Nikes too. When they're
Yeah.
dad shoes, they're called Nikes.
Nikes.
That's
Nikes.
like I remember when I was younger, we would have to go to Famous Footwear to get our shoes or whatever, and I would just be so fucking nervous that they'd make me get generics that I would just be like, these Nikes are only
Yeah.
fucking $25, but they would be like ugly, but I would
Yeah.
just be like,
God.
I'd rather have these than like really
Yeah.
good looking Bobo shoes. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like some Airwalks. I know Airwalks used to be cool. Oh my god.
Yeah, Airwalks were hot at one
Yeah.
point.
Tony Hawk shoes.
Yeah,
I
they-
always make fun
Tony
of
Hawk
Tony.
shoes, that's a mistake.
Tony Hawk jeans. You know the Tony Hawk jeans they sell at
Ooh.
Kohl's? Like
Yeah.
those, I wore a lot of those
Yeah.
fucking things,
Fuck.
man.
Lugs were a bad move too
Yeah.
back then. Lugs were like fake Timberland.
Oh, I wore those too.
They were much more affordable.
I never had a pair of Timbs.
Yeah.
And like you know,
Big
I love
money.
boots and
Big
stuff.
money.
It's not as much as I pay now. I should have got
That's true.
Tim's last time.
True.
We should live the
Yeah.
dream of getting some chuckas, fucker. Well, thank you for calling in and being
Fuck
our
yeah.
last caller tonight. And
Yeah.
we love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're practicing.
Oh, yeah, I love you too, boys.
Glad you're
Thank you for practicing
Yeah.
foot health.
foot health.
Yeah. They're very comfortable.
guys-
Wow, yeah.
You are just like you just
I like
don't.
a good sandal, and I gotta say, Brian, I'm with you. Socks with sandals always. Don't want to see those feet.
He wants socks, sandals.
Don't
No
wanna see those
way,
feet.
man. It's preposterous, dude.
Socks and sandals always.
What about if you encounter a puddle, man, and your fucking socked ass feet are all soaking wet?
You take your socks off and put them back on. You dry them off. But if I'm going to my knees, no. But here's what I'm gonna say too. Socks, sandals, pants. No, that's what I'm gonna say. That's
Okay.
acceptable to me.
Okay.
We're
I will never
unacceptable.
wear socks.
Pants,
Acceptable.
flip flops. Pants and flip flops. I can't handle. If you're wearing jeans and flip flops, I can't hang. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
jeans
weird
and
to me,
flip-flops is
especially if you don't cuff them.
odd maneuver.
Yeah.
Sweatshirt
Anyway,
shorts.
but yeah, you guys gotta go. So. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you
show's
so much.
over. It's been 3 hours. We're in overtime. We're getting paid time and a half.
I think we're right at
burning
3.
up that Patreon money extra quick right now.
I think we're right at
So
3.
thank you,
Kisses and
everybody
love.
that called in. You don't have to say your race or sexual orientation if you call into the show. You can just tell us your story.
We're also allowed to.
You know, of
too.
course. I guess
Jesus.
you're right. I shouldn't shut that down. No, I appreciate everybody that called in tonight. You make it what it is. It's just a beautiful thing, and it's way easier for me than putting a show together. So thank you for doing all the work and tuning into Street Fight. We will be here on Wednesday, Brian and I, yelling at each other's faces in the basement. We take your calls every single Sunday. We'll be back next Sunday. We're going to do an ABCD show, I think, maybe the week before we go. Maybe the last call-in show this month. Does that sound good?
Found me.
Okay, we'll put that on the books. Anyone but Sis Dude's call-in show will be happening at the end of June. Thank you to Drew Toothpaste for being here. What's the best way to follow you?
Yeah, I'm at Drew Toothpaste.
Okay.
On Twitter and Instagram. So just link up there if you want to see more from me. Totally optional.
We had someone...
Totally optional. I don't. I'm following the non-aggression principle. You don't have to. You're following the nap. I like it.
Yeah, do what you want to do. I'm not your fucking boss.
This is voluntary association we have here. You can or you don't have to. It's
right,
up to you.
Right. And thank you guys for having me. This is a blast. This
Yeah.
is sweet coming in here.
Yeah, we'll have you more during this because you said it's easy to do this during the summer. So I got a hold of you the first show we did during the summer.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You really helped us out there. We've done 5 hours of radio today. So
Yeah, I'm on the school schedule, so until school comes back in, I'm trained to go.
nice.
All right. Thanks for being here. We'll see you later this week. We're Street Fight. Peace.
Oh, we're done, Brett. We're done, and on Wednesday.